baby. Actually, it's Heir of Fire, baby.
Hi! Welcome to another book review. Today we're going to be discussing Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. If you don't know, which you probably should by now because everybody's talking about it, this is the third book in her Throne of Glass series. So this is the third one. You have Throne of Glass, that's the first one. Then you have Crown of Midnight, and the Assassin Blade is actually a collection of novellas, so you can check that out. I can't really tell you much about this book without ruining the rest of the series for you, so if you haven't read these other books first, you probably shouldn't watch this video. It's just a suggestion. You can stay if you want, but I'm warning you that you will be ruined. It will ruin you. So if you've read those two books and you haven't read this one, don't watch it. You can go check out my book talks for those ones. All in Throne of Glass right here, Crown of Midnight right here, and the Assassin's Blade right here. So you can go check those out before and, you know, come back and watch this book review once you've read Heir of Fire. Cause you don't want to miss out, cause we're moving along pretty fast and things are going strong. You don't want to miss out, so you know, go read those books. Alright, so for my non-spoilery people who have read this book, let's start discussing it. So, Heir of Fire. Let's see, what can I say, my initial thoughts on Heir of Fire? For me personally, it was the least good of all three that are out right now. The main reason why I wasn't like, oh, this was the best book ever was, one, because Selena, Kale, and Dorian were separated the entire time. So I was kind of bummed out because of that, because, you know, she's off to Wenlin and Dorian and Kale are still in Rifthold. It sounds weird when I say it out loud. It sounds better in my head. Anywho, so they're still in Rifthold, and she's out in Wenlin, and they're not together, so that kind of bummed me out. I was really upset that they were not together at all during this book. That was my one big bummer, so that knocked it down from a 5-star to a 4-star right there. Second is the Manon chapters. They weren't my favorite. They could have been left out. I know they're important to the series now because the king's planning this army. He's creating this army of witches to, like, I guess, kill people who pose a threat to him. But it could have probably been, like, in the novella book, since, you know, it wasn't really relevant to the story, in my opinion. So yeah, that knocked it down to 4 stars too. My favorite parts of the book were the Kale and Dorian parts. I loved them together. It felt like the old books and it was just great. It was a great time. I know they're having this fight, but you know, it's that brotherly love. They have this brotherly love that we love. So this book is really based on Selena trying to train to be able to shift whenever she wants. That's the main goal here with Selena. And I thought, based on the second book, that she was going to go there to try to find a third word key, word key, and it didn't end up like that at all. It like really swerved off and went in a completely different direction from what I thought it was gonna be. So I think that's another reason where I was like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. But we did discover that the third word key is the necklace that she had when she was a little girl and then she lost it, and then the Assassin King, he has it now apparently, so we're gonna have to go back and find him and get the key from him, and he's not gonna like that. Selena's gonna have trouble, I think, finding the third key. It's not gonna be easy. No, he's not gonna let it go that easily. So the Manon chapters, I read the first few ones. I was like, okay, I'm gonna dive into these, I'm gonna read them, push through it. But at the end, I was skipping the entire chapters. I was like, when is Selena gonna get back to our Adarlan? She never did, so I just skipped those chapters for nothing now. And I know what they're about though. You know, Manon training this dragon and then becoming friends and her becoming more human. I know what it's about, so I didn't skip it and like lose the information. I know what it's about, but I just skipped right through them because I'm like, I don't really care about you, Manon. I want Selena and Dorian to be back together. Speaking of Dorian, oh man, was I ever pissed when that maid got into his pants. Not necessarily his pants, his bed. She got into bed with him, and I was so mad because Solorian, I am Team Solorian. This was not supposed to happen, Dorian. What the heck are you doing? But it's okay. He was able to mourn Selena. She's not dead, but he was able to mourn her absence with this girl, Sorcha, and now she's dead, and Selena and Dorian can be together again. So I'm happy about that. So. I was really upset though when they killed her, especially the way that they killed her. I wasn't expecting her to die. No, not at all. I was like, she's gonna leave. She's gonna lose interest in Prince Dorian and she's just gonna leave. But no, they killed her. So Selena is mourning Sam. Dorian is mourning Sorcha. I don't know. So they're gonna get back together and mourn together and fall in love together, because that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So now Dorian is taking a step forward. He's becoming he's growing in his own skin, if that makes any sense. He's becoming more king-like, and I'm loving this because, you know, Selena is queen of Terrasen and Dorian is the king of Aderlan, soon to be when he finally decides to kill the king. And, you know, they're gonna rule and bring all the continents together, or all the countries in the continent together. However this place is laid out, I'm not even entirely sure how this goes. They are gonna rule the whole kingdom together. I know it. I just know it. So now let's talk about Aiden. Sarah J. Maas, give us easier words, please. So, first impression of Aiden, I don't know. Dickhead. I'm sorry for my language, but that is exactly what I put in my notes, and I'm gonna say it out loud. He was a dickhead. I hated him so much at the beginning, but then we learned that, you know, he's actually not working for the king. He's working against the king to ruin everything for the king. So, you know, it just made us love him now, you know. So he's Faye, and he's Selena's, distant cousin? He's related to Selena somehow, and he loves her. He loves the idea of her. He's somehow in love with Selena in some way or another, and they're related. And I understand that if they ruled together, it would really work well because they're both Fae. And Terrasen is like the land of Fae or something. He also betrayed Terrasen, or so we think he did, but maybe he actually didn't because he was lying to protect himself from the king. He wanted to be on the king's side so he could be in the castle and find out stuff about Selena from Kale. So now let's talk a little bit about Selena's story with Rowan. That was a frustrating part to read because he wants Selena to shift and she can't shift on her own. She has to be like triggered by anger or by fear, and she couldn't control that by herself. So it was really just annoying sometimes to read because you're like, Selena, just shift so you can leave. Rowan, what did you imagine him like? I imagined him semi-tall, broad shoulders, shaggy hair, gray. I imagined him a grayish color. Why? I don't know. Imagined him like some kind of troll, I think. Yeah, that's why he was gray. He was some kind of troll in my head. But he was Fae. And he was under the control of Maeve, the queen of Wendlin, the Wendlin Fae people. So all the time we have this kind of tension between Rowan and Selena, and we know it's not going anywhere, but still something going on the entire time. So the Fae people, they're not as nice as we thought they would be, especially the queen, because, you know, she's her aunt, she's Selena's aunt, and Rowan is Selena's cousin? Distant cousin? Because Maeve is Rowan's aunt too, so they're both related to her, but they're not necessarily related. It's a very complicated thing. I really enjoy the parts where Selena was in the kitchen with Emrys and Luca. I just really love those two characters. They were awesome. I love the stories that they told and just everything about them. They were super awesome. So all through like the first half of the book, I'm like, I don't like Rowan. He's too mysterious. He doesn't say anything. He's ugh, go away. But then I start to like him a little bit more towards the middle of the book. And by the end, I am loving Rowan. So their duty, Rowan and Selena's part in this book was like figuring out what was going on with a bunch of Fae being killed. And then they find out that there's these princes that are coming and like taking over their bodies or doing experiments on their bodies or something like that. And it was just really creepy. And like, Selena, get out of there. Get out of there, Selena. They're coming to get you. But no, you just stand around. You just stand around and not do anything. Okay, die. Fine, die. I don't care. You can die. I don't care. So we have this little thing that Rowan tells Selena where she's fire, so her her match it has to be ice. Cold and hot. They go together because they affect each other, so they can't hurt each other, right? And Dorian is snowy, icy powers, could go match with Selena. You know what I'm talking about, right? Right. So Selena and Dorian are meant to be together. It just proves everything right there. So you Kale people, you go sit in the corner. It's me and Dorian and Selena, we're gonna rule everything, because this is how it works. To be together. They're meant to be together, and I can't wait for the next book so they can actually be together and converse together, because it was missing. It was really missing in this book for me. I needed it and it wasn't there, and I was upset. So Selena has been set free from Maeve, and Rowan also has been set free. They unbroke their vows and they can be friends now, and they can go save Adeline from the king. Oh, and the towers. They have to ruin those towers somehow. They have to knock them down. But it's a big old obsidian rock. How do you destroy obsidian? I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out somehow. We're gonna have to get our little hammers and knock on the towers and destroy them somehow. I don't know. So that's gonna be in the next few books too, because we have 3 towers and we need to destroy the bond that is going on within those towers that's stopping magic from happening. So this was a big book. A lot happened, but it was like slow moving a lot of time. I found it that way, at least. So I am excited for the next book because I need to know what happens. And Solorian is gonna come back. We're gonna get Solorian so bad, and I'm so excited about it. So I believe that is it. Let me know what you thought of this book down in the comments below. I would love to know. Did the fact that Selena and Dorian not being together like lower your expectations of the book? Because it certainly did for me. So I want to know what you guys thought about that part, because I was not happy about it, as I've said before. At the end of the book, Selena's hair gets chopped off. Why? I loved her long hair. So now they're like this long instead of being this long. So let me know what your favorite parts of this book was or were. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye bye.